the Digimon movies. Famously, the first 3 of these films were edited heavily and became the Digimon movie, but years later, the next 4 films would air on American TV as a promotion for Disney's new Jetix block, which had the airing rights to Digimon. Over the summer and fall of 2005, 4 films would air, bringing back the original cast and crew of Digimon's English production, minus a few key people. Although there are English versions of these films, all of which I've seen, this series will be looking at the Japanese version of the film. I know a lot of people have been asking me where I found these, and the truth is I imported the Japanese Blu-ray set, which includes many of the Digimon films, and I've ripped fan subs offline and paired them up with my higher quality footage. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it for that crisp HD footage. But before we continue, today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I want all of you to forget everything you think you know about mobile gaming, because Raid Shadow Legends is the most immersive mobile gaming experience out there, and it's totally free. This game has everything you would expect from a modern RPG title. Amazing graphics, an awesome story, PvP battles, hundreds of champions to collect, and giant awesome boss fights like this huge dragon. What a feisty guy. It's insane, and it's totally changing my perspective on what I thought mobile gaming could be. I mean, look at the details on some of these champions. The coolest part is, if you download Raid Shadow Legends through my link in the description, you'll automatically get 50,000 silver and will be entered into the special game launch tournament, where you'll have the opportunity to compete against other players, including me, to win special in-game and physical prizes like collectible figures and t-shirts. So click my link in the description of the video and download Raid Shadow Legends today. I hope to see you there, and good luck. Number 6, Digimon Tamers, Battle of Adventurers. This one originally premiered on July 14th, 2001 at the Toei Summer Film Festival, and its English counterpart aired on October 16th, 2005 on Toon Disney. Digimon Tamers is one of the most unique and plot-driven children's anime. It's weirdly dark, very character-oriented, and had a continuous plot which didn't leave a lot of room for filler. This description can be said for a lot of anime, which is why I am ever so baffled at the expanding list of non-canon or canon-ish anime movies. There's a never-ending fan theory community dedicated to figuring out which 2 episodes of an anime a movie can fit between, you know, without affecting the plot too much. That's what Digimon Tamers Battle of Adventurers is, except a movie-exclusive character shows up towards the end of Tamers. So I don't know. Battle of Adventurers is 51 minutes long, so it's the longest of the films based on an existing anime. Part of the reason it's this long is because there's a lot of moving parts. I also think it's a good time to mention that the auteur of Tamers, Chiaki J. Konaka, had no involvement with this film, as Tamers was still ongoing when it premiered. So Takato and Henry, 2 of the main characters from Tamers, are spending their summer vacation in Okinawa. Takato wants to hang out with his cousin, but Henry wants to see some nerd stuff. Meanwhile, Rika is in Shinjuku just hanging out. Then all of a sudden, Omnimon, possibly from Digimon Adventure, is in the digital world, and he needs to stop Mephistomon, who's the reincarnated version of Apocalypse, also possibly from Digimon Adventure, from destroying humanity. Meanwhile, some girl who lost her dog to drowning is sad about the virtual pet her dad made her to replace her actual dog. Using these virtual pets, Mephistomon unleashes Digimon onto the world, but the virtual pet replacement dog is really a Digimon, V-Pet, and vaccine made to kill all the other virtual pets, and it does. And now they're all dead, like all of my other V-Pets. Then Mephistomon turns big and they beat him up at the end. Okay, there are so many ideas and things at play here, and a lot of moving parts that end up having to come together. Minami, the girl who lost her dog, is treated so horribly. The film is almost mean-spirited towards her. She's sad about her dog, then her virtual dog comes to life, and then the virtual dog dies, and that's her story. Poor girl. DoesTheDogDie.com has about half of their servers dedicated to this one movie. Battle of Adventurers looks really nice, however. The tropical aesthetic, the animation, it's all beautiful. There are some really cute moments with Guilmon and Takato's cousin Kai, but ultimately, it's not playing to Tamers' strengths. Digimon Tamers is so dark and so visceral. This is just a bad Digimon with an evil plan. In Tamers, the kids were so worried about killing Digimon, and here they're just taking them out like they're little flies. murdering them. And it's a shame too, because Mephistomon is so cool looking. It's just basically the torso of Satan and the thighs of Jonathan Joestar. I wish something more was done to play to the strengths of Tamers. Especially in a non-canon/canon-ish movie, there's a lot of room to do whatever you want with the characters and story, like including characters from Adventure. So it is implied this is Omnimon from Digimon Adventure, but my question is, why couldn't you just let the kids from Tamers meet Matt and Ty? That would be fun. It's harmless in this context. Just give us a small little crossover, because what are these movies besides kind of being fan service? I said I believed Revenge of Diaboromon was the perfect bite-sized movie for mindless action, but Battle of Adventurers drags on a lot. It definitely has its moments, and it's truly beautifully done, but I do want it to be more like the material it's based on. So quick question, have you seen these movies or heard of them? Because I know they did air in English on Disney Channel, but I'm not sure if they ever aired more than once, so they may be pretty obscure to an English audience. And if you have seen them, which ones do you like? Because it's also hard for me to find out what the common consensus is for these films. Number 7, Digimon Tamers Runaway Locomon. This one first premiered at the Spring Toei Anime Festival in March 2002. It takes place 6 months after the end of Digimon Tamers, so all of the Digimon have returned to the human world, and they're planning something for Rika, which she seems pretty mad about. All of a sudden, a train misses its stop, and we soon find out it's Locomon, a trained Digimon who's speeding all over the place, all fast-like. Takato gets on the train, leaving Guilmon behind, and Rika and Renamon are able to get on as well. The rest of the cast, including the Hypnos agents, are all working together to catch Locomon. Takato finds out that Locomon is being controlled by a parasite Digimon who also controls Rika. The parasite makes her remember some pretty sensitive childhood memories. They all find out Locomon is heading to a digital rift, and if they don't stop it in time, it'll unleash chaos onto the world, making evil Digimon come out and attack. The team finally catches up to it and defeats the parasite Digimon. Locomon rides off, and we find out everyone was planning a surprise party for Rika. How nice. Rika sits away from everyone, appreciating what they've done for her, but at a distance. Like Battle of Adventurers, this movie did not have the direct involvement of Konaka, but both the writer and director were heavily involved with Digimon Tamers, so it still feels really connected to the world. Konaka even complimented the work they did on the film. What I like about many of these Digimon movies are the self-containment of them. They're usually well-paced, and it's always a treat to see Digimon animated well. And I say this a lot because it really is awesome to go from this to this. While I did enjoy it, I wish the tension and consequences of Locomon hitting its destination were more dire and urgent. I get that unleashing bad Digimon into the world is bad, but that's a problem that characters could solve and overcome in the event of it happening. Not to compare this to the golden child of Digimon movies, but the consequences of our war game is something that the children couldn't solve if it were to happen. In fact, I kind of want to see Locomon hit its destination, because that just would mean more giant monster fights, and I do like a lot of giant monster fights. I think a lot of the character interaction along the way in this film is really nice and cute, like Henry accidentally taking Lotmon, his sister's Digimon, by accident. Guilmon is just this pure baby boy, and watching him try to get to Takato is so great, and seeing Beelzemon for even 2 seconds before getting wrecked is a bit of a treat. However, I think the highlight of this film is Rika's arc. We know through the series that she has a strained relationship with her mother due to the fact that she had Rika at a very young age and is busy working on her career. So Rika was primarily raised by her grandmother. Throughout the series, Rika's father is nowhere to be seen, and her relationship to him is never explored. However, here we get glimpses of their relationship. What I love about Rika as a character is the fact that she's so quiet and reserved, and the way this relationship is explored in the film is also very quiet and reserved. We know Rika has complex feelings about this, but her reaction to having this memory just come back to her in such an extreme way is to quietly reflect on it. It really shows her growth from the angry character at the beginning of Tamers to a more contemplative one now. Her anger being replaced by a more contemplative, yet still emotionally distant character leaves a lot of room for her character to continue to grow. And it really makes me want more from the series because I truly believe there is so much more to explore here. Number 8. Digimon Frontier, Revival of Ancient Digimon. This one premiered at the Summer Toei Festival in July 2002 and October 23, 2005 in the United States. This was also the final Digimon movie to be translated into English until Digimon Adventure Tri. Now, I want to say, I'm not a huge fan of Frontier to begin with, so if you like this movie and like Frontier, that's okay. This is just me expressing my opinion, it's not meant to disprove your opinion. While traveling through the desert, the cast of Digimon Frontier come across two groups of feuding Digimon. Continuing with the conflict of the show, one side is comprised of human-type Digimon and the other side is comprised of beast-type Digimon. The human types are led by Darkmon and the beast types are led by Hippogriffmon. The kids try to take sides in the conflict but ultimately decide to try to foster peace between both groups. Because two of the Digimon are children and friends and their friendship is threatened to be torn apart by all of this fighting. Meanwhile, part of the group discovers an ancient mural telling of ancient Greymon, ancient Garurumon, and Ornismon, ancient guardians who both sides want to return in order to bring peace. However, someone takes the time to, actually read the mural, and they find out that Ornismon is actually quite evil. And if the conflict continues, enough digicode will be collected to bring Ornismon's return. It's revealed that Hippogriffmon and Darkmon are actually the same Digimon, being a slide evolution version of Murmuka's. This one. Ornismon is resurrected, but so is ancient Greymon and ancient Garurumon who help to defeat Ornismon, and then everyone is happy. This one bored me. I was bored by it. Once again, I'm not big on Digimon Frontier, so if you like Frontier, you may enjoy it. I know there's a lot of slow build up here, but it does seem slow. I didn't really get the conflict between the two groups beyond the existing conflict which exists in the show, and by this point I've kind of forgotten why all of it happens. But I assure you I have not forgotten that I promised I would do a cover of the song. I just need to learn this gosh darn instrument first. Also, I don't understand why the kids choose the sides they did beyond the fact that that's the side they were introduced to first. However, I do like the twist that Hippogriffmon and Darkmon are the same character. That's a smart decision which plays into the Digimon mechanics introduced in Frontier itself, which is something I'm always a fan of. This one disappointed me because I did like the 02 films even though I'm not the biggest 02 fan. So I was kind of hoping this one would make me want to give Frontier another chance, but alas, it did not. However, I'm still open to it in the future. So anyways, thank you for watching. Next time we're going to be covering the Digimon Savers film as well as Digimon X Evolution. Other than that, if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, please consider subscribing or checking out some other videos. If you want to follow me on social media, those links are in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and I will see you next week.